The Turbo and 2K Show.
What's up, 2K crew? Yeah, I know, I didn't wait until it went 0-0, but I wanted to get this show on the road for you guys and gals because I am super excited. Super excited. This is one of my favorite days of the year. Almost was a little disappointed, but we'll get into that here in a little bit. But for those of you watching live, I do want to say thank you for joining us. And when I say us, I mean me and Lil Tipsy, Lil Boozy. He's still here. But you may notice 2Ks isn't here. 2Ks and the fam are heading down to Florida for spring break, so hopefully their travels are amazing. The weather is amazing while they're down there. And yes, this is one of 2K's. 2K's is, I think, about 6 vacations of the year, so it's starting out the new year, but this is kind of a tradition for them, so I hope things are good for them and they have safe travels. Like I said, the weather's good because it is Florida. You never know. And hopefully it's better than ours because, I mean, heck, we had snow. I don't know about y'all, but I am tired of the snow. But let's get all the I guess administrative things out of the way before we jump into the topics at hand today. But yeah, for those of you that are watching live, thank you. I do appreciate it. And if you are on Facebook, like this says here, there's a link in the description of the video or the live post. Click that so my streaming software can pick up your name, your pretty profile, so I can feature you on the screen. So it just doesn't say Facebook user. Because I mean, what fun is that? And for those of you watching live on YouTube, I do want to say thank you and hit the subscribe button. It's free. Go ahead and hit that bell so you get notified every time we go live. And for those of you listening on the audio side, big shout out to you. You guys and gals are by far our most, are the crew that partakes the most in our content. So big shout out to you. If you are listening on Apple, give us a 5-star rating and drop us a comment. So we shoot up the links there and kind of see where we compare with the other sports talk podcasts. But getting all that aside, we wouldn't be coming to you live from this amazing venue if it wasn't for the Marcellus News and Miss Kay McAdam and her crew. So big shout out to them. Go to marcellusnews.com, get your virtual or paper subscription. So I was looking over this week's edition, and if you are a subscriber, you'll get to see the reviews on the Wizard of Oz play we just had here at the high school. So some really cool stuff going on at the high school in this community. So go ahead and get you a subscription there. Well, that being said, ladies and gents, it is opening motherfucking day 2023. And I was kind of hesitant to see how this was going to go. I really didn't know Because I mean, if you've been following the channel for any amount of time, you know that 2Ks and I really don't. When it comes to rule changes, especially with baseball, a lot of them just seem kind of like why, what I kind of see why they're doing it, but is it really necessary? And I have to say that going into today, yes, I did watch a fair share of spring training games, so you kind of got a feel for it. But to me, spring training really doesn't give you kind of the good overview of what's going on. Because I mean, we only see the star players, one or two at bats a game, if that. We see the pitchers go, not very many innings. So I want, this is the first time to kind of get the full feel, jump feet first, if you will, into these new rule changes. And if you're living under a rock, the pitch clock that they've been rolling out for the minor leagues the last handful of years has been implemented this year. 2Ks and I kind of talked about it a little bit the last time we met, but I think so far so good. I mean, me personally, I really did. I didn't see a problem with it before, except for one pitcher. But other than that, I mean, it kind of is what it is. We've got bigger bases, which I didn't really see the point in that. But between the pitch clock and the eliminating the shift, I know we're seeing, and I know this is a very small sample size, but just looking at some of the completed games already. I mean, we've got the Braves beat the Nationals 7-2. The Orioles beat the Red Sox, sadly, 10-9. Rays over the Tigers 4-0. We've got a 0-0 game here, White Sox and Astros watching over on ESPN. We'll get into that because I know there are a handful of avid White Sox fans, and if you're a White Sox fan, I mean, you should be very excited about what's happening right now. Even putting aside the fact that your team's healthy. I mean, I can't remember the last time we've had all of these guys on the field at the same time. I mean, you probably have to go back to spring training last year, opening day last year. So under new management, of course, which I think a lot of White Sox fans are very happy about. But yeah, it's going to be exciting to see what they do. I mean, they're going up against the world champion Astros in their new look. And if you are a White Sox fan, especially this game, it's probably going to take a minute to get used to Jose Abreu in that Astros uni. So we'll dive into that. I'll kind of go over some of my thoughts for opening day, and then we'll talk a little. I mean, because we have to talk March Madness. We're going to give you our bracket challenge update, and as well as kind of break down the Final Four games. Kind of see, I will give you my opinion on each team that got there. Kind of give you my picks for the games this weekend. I really haven't even looked at the odds or anything yet, so we're gonna look at them together live, and I'll kind of give you my reactions going into that. But yeah, it is here. It is here, 2K crew. It is here, opening day of baseball. 2 weeks ago, when we had our show, I told you this is my favorite time of year, and this is check mark 2 of 3. That spring is really here. Spring is really here. I mean, first check is obviously the March Madness tournament. Second check, opening day of baseball. And the third and final check is the Masters, which I believe is this weekend, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Let me check I don't want to give you guys any false information here. Next weekend, sorry about that, but yeah, I had a feeling that we would have a bit larger crowd tonight as compared to 2 weeks ago. Obviously there's a bunch of March Madness games on, so I really didn't expect us to have a whole lot of live viewers, but the numbers came through as normal, so big shout out to the 2K crew. And yeah, it's a big shout out to the 2K crew on Facebook, our group. So yeah, get on in there, facebook.com/group/2K crew. Love to have you in there. Have a lot of great conversations, and we do pick on a lot of people. Not bully, not be nasty, but of course, just some friendly banter, some smack talking, and I tell you what, this 2K crew is on top of it when it comes to breaking news. So if you do want to get up to date news and stuff like that, I always get a notification on my phone from the group before I get my ESPN notification. So I mean, you're getting the best of both worlds. I mean, we probably have some of the better insiders in the game, insiders outside of the insiders. Let's put it that way. And it goes for all sports. It goes for all sports. Not a huge basketball community in there, not a huge hockey community, but baseball, football, college basketball this time of year. So, yeah, it's been rather awesome, and yeah, a whole bunch of great people in there. So, just answer the questions, and I'll let you in. And it's absolutely 125% free. I promise you. So let's get into the opening day here. I mean, started off the day with there's some more scores, obviously. Yankees opened up against the Giants. And but before we dive into this, I have to tell you a story. It was getting close to that 1 o'clock first pitch, and I was like, I just remembered, I can bet on this. So I hopped on my phone, was gonna load a bet for Aaron Judge to hit a home run, and got greedy and found the place on FanDuel to place your bet on who would hit the first home run. And in doing that, between my slow internet at home and my lack of timing, my bet didn't go through. So I did not get to cash in on that Aaron Judge home run, which I want to say was like plus 380, plus 350, somewhere in there. And then was going to parlay that with, or going to try, him hitting the first home run of the season. So I guess the feeling just came a little too late, 2K crew. But yeah, let's jump in the box score here, because we saw Aaron Judge hit pretty much the first pitch he saw of the 2023 season into the left center field bleachers. Let's see here. Garrett Cole seemed to strike out every single batter that he faced. Went 6 innings, 3 hits, 11 Ks. I mean, that is absolutely crazy. He had everything dialed in. Logan Webb kind of had a hard day at the office. 6 innings, 4 hits, 4 earned runs, and he had 12 Ks as well. So maybe not as bad as I thought it was. It's just that he had the earned runs, and Mr. Cole did not. But let's see here. Yeah, Judge goes 1 for 2 with 2 RBIs in the home run. Who else hit one? Gleyber Torres hit one. Mr. Volpe, the highly acclaimed, highly touted shortstop prospect of the Yankees, makes his first start in Yankee Stadium on opening day. As y'all know, I am not a Yankees fan, but if you're a prospect and starting at the shortstop for the Yankees, your very first major league start, opening day, Yankee Stadium, that's got to be just insane. That has to be absolutely insane. So, and Anthony Volpe goes 0 for 2 with a walk. But yeah, I mean, overall, to me, it just looked like the Yankees were the better team in this whole game. I did watch the vast majority of this, and really, like I said, this is kind of a stripped down Giants lineup that we saw make that playoff run a couple years ago. So it's going to be interesting to see if they're able to kind of piece together a team, because we were all writing them off. I think it was 2021 when they made that run. So are they going to be able to have enough pitching? Are they going to have enough lineup, I guess you could say, to kind of compete with a team like the Yankees or any of the other top tier National League teams? It's going to be quite interesting. But I think opening day, first opinions on the Yankees is they're doing what they're supposed to do. They're as advertised. It's just going to be a matter of, I think we've said it on many, many occasions, are these guys able to stay healthy? Judge was able to do what he did last year because he didn't have the normal Aaron Judge long stint on the IL. So where is this going to leave them? I have a feeling that if this lineup stays healthy, in particular Judge and Stanton and Donaldson, which Donaldson's kind of here nor there, but this is going to be a team that's going to be around all season and is going to be very, very tough. And that, as a Red Sox fan, that kind of pains me to say that. Let's go here. Blue Jays end up coming back and beating the Cardinals 10-9. Pirates beat the Reds 5-4. Mets Marlins. Mets win 5-3 in Florida. Let's check the box score on this one because I did watch a little bit of this. Let's see here. And the bad part is I can only really name a handful of guys on the Marlins team. But Jazz goes 0 for 4. Jorge Soler goes 1 for 4. Segura, their new acquisition from Philly, goes 0 for 3 with a walk. Let's check the pitchers here. Brandon Nimmo goes 1 for 3 with 3 RBIs. Lindor goes 1 for 4. Alonso goes 0 for 4 with a walk. Yeah, that's about it. Scherzer, six innings pitched, 4 hits, 3 earned, 6 Ks. Alcantara, the reigning National League Cy Young Award winner, goes 5 2/3, 3 hits, 2 earned runs, and 2 Ks. But one of the things, 2K crew, is what I'm noticing is, I'm sure it has a lot to do with a whole lot of stuff, but you could attribute it to the size of the bases. You can contribute it to the pitch clock a lot. Knowing, and it's not just the pitch clock, it's the, what do they call it, the disengagements from the mound. You're only allowed 3 per batter or whatever the hell it is, so it kind of limits the amount of time, the amount of pickoff attempts a pitcher can do. So we're seeing a lot more players take advantage of these circumstances, and I think we're going to have at least twice as many stolen bases league-wide as we did last year. So, which is very exciting. And then you take that into account and roll it into the outlawing the shift, then you're going to see the players at the plate hit those holes more, hit the gaps more. Which, if you're an outfielder, a right fielder, left fielder, even a center fielder, you're going to see your putouts go up immensely because especially a right fielder. Right fielders probably have the best arm on the whole field, and you're going to get to showcase your arm like the players of old did, and gun down that guy going from first to third, runner from second trying to score. It's going to be more exciting. Like I said, that's more along the lines of outlawing the shift. More balls are going to be put into play. We're going to see. I have a very, very good feeling we're going to see more top 10 plays on ESPN come from baseball. And if you're the person choosing the top 10 on ESPN, you're going to have a harder job. You are absolutely going to have a harder job because you're going to have more to pick from, which I guess in the grand scheme of things isn't a bad thing at all. So I have a feeling we're going to see fielding come more into play, and just the emphasis on defense is going to be enormous because of the lack of the shifts. And we're also going to see a lot of left-handed hitters. We're going to see those averages go up. And again, if you guys have followed the channel for any amount of time, you know that I do enjoy a good pitcher's duel. I do. But offense is never a bad thing. Never a bad thing at all. Let's see what else we got here. The Twins beat the Royals 2-0. The Rangers beat the Phillies. Let's check that one. See how DeGrom did in his start with the new club, as well as Trey Turner. Turner goes 1 for 4 with a walk. Schwartz goes 0 for 5. Real Muto goes has 3 hits. It goes 3 for 5. Wow. It's 3 for 5. Castellanos 2 for 5. Alec Baum hit a home run. He went 3 for 4. Damn. Good on him. Good on him. And let's switch over here. Marcus Semien goes 2 for 5. Corey Seager goes 1 for 3 with 2 walks. And they were, and that was the big thing. Whose game is going to be amplified more with the shift being outlawed, and Corey Seager's name came up. So probably going to keep a good eye on him, kind of see where he is with as far as the batting average goes, because I have a feeling he's going to have a big year. I really do. Okay, DeGrom goes 3 2/3, 6 hits, 5 earned, 7 Ks. Aaron Nola 3 2/3, 4 hits, 5 earned, 4 Ks. And for those of you that are new to opening day baseball, you will not see a whole lot of innings pitched from the starters because they are still ramping up. Give them 2 or 3 weeks, and we'll maybe 3 starts, 4 starts, and then they'll be at their normal pace. But Texas wins 11-7. 11-7, and kind of going to my point. Rangers had 2 home runs, and Phillies had 1. So 3 home runs, 18 runs. And while we're on this game, usually opening day, first few weeks, first few starts for the pitchers, that's when you see more runs scored, because the hitters are always ahead of the pitchers when it comes to the new season. I mean, that's not a secret. That's just the way it is. And kind of like we'll get into the Orioles-Red Sox game here in a little bit, but the Orioles win 10-9. We're seeing a lot of big scores, 11-7, 10-9. I mean, that's even 5-4. Pirates over Reds. I almost said Cardinals. Pirates over Reds, 5-4. Whether you can contribute that to the things we just talked about with the rule changes, or is it just the more advanced the hitters are as opposed to the pitchers? And whoever just posted that on Facebook, yes, it did go through. Let's before we get into the Red Sox, are the Cubs going to go undefeated this year? You kind of have to ask the question, because they're 1-0. Bet you that was a chilly game at Wrigley today. I would have much rather, if I was a player, I'd much rather play that indoors in Milwaukee. But that's just me. I'm soft. That's what happens when you get 40. You get soft. Let's see here. Nico Horner goes 1 for 4. Dansby Swanson goes 3 for 4 with an RBI in his Cubs debut. Good on him. Always been a huge Dansby Swanson fan. Let's see here. Ian Happ goes 1 for 2 with 2 walks. Forgot Eric Hosmer's on the team. Forgot that. Yelich goes 0 for 2. What happened to that dude? I think he's going to be another guy that's going to benefit from the shift a lot. Adames goes 1 for 3. Not a whole lot of offense here, just 4 hits, obviously with 0 runs. But again, 4-0 without a home run. I want to say that 70% of the runs, I think the stat I saw was 70% of the runs last year were scored via the home run. And that's not just the person hitting. It's obvious there's people on base, but 70% of the runs were generated from home runs last year. And I do still think there'll be plenty of home runs to be had, but I think we're going to see the percentage of that go down quite a bit as we move through the season. But and as I pointed out, that pitchers don't go as long. Stroman goes 6 innings, 3 hits, no earned, 8 Ks. And Corbin Burns 5 innings, 4 hits, 4 earned, 3 Ks. So they obviously shattered my my hopes and dreams with that one. But yeah, like I said, that would be a cold game. But if you ever been to Wrigley, you really don't care about the weather. Really don't care about the weather. The beer is cold. The venue is awesome. So yeah. Let's check out the Red Sox here. Orioles beat them 10-9 in Fenway. Let's see here. A lot more hits in this one. Orioles had 15. The Red Sox had 11. Red Sox don't hit a home run. However, the Orioles hit 2. Adley Rutschman hit 1. I want to say he's the first catcher since Matt Wieters to hit a home run as an Oriole on opening day. So big shout out to him. He went 5 for 5. Wow, what a start to the season. 5 for 5 for Adley Rutschman. So if you are a sports card collector, might not be a bad guy to keep an eye on, might not be a bad guy to get his cards before they really do start I know they're already expensive, but before they get even more expensive. Mountcastle goes 1 for 4. Let's see. On the Red Sox side, Verdugo goes 2 for 5. Devers goes 2 for 5 with an RBI. Justin Turner goes 2 for 4 in his Red Sox debut. Yoshida goes 2 for 4 as well. I did sprinkle a little bit of gas, if you will, on him to hit a home run. He was like plus 800 or something. Figured, what the hell? Why not? Adam Duvall, my diabetes brother, goes 1 for 4 with an RBI. Tristan Cassis, 0 for 2 with 2 RBIs. Nope. Yeah, 2 RBIs. So yeah, let's check out the pitching line. Corey Kluber goes 3 1/3, 6 hits, 5 runs, or 5 earned, 4 Ks. Gibson on the Orioles side goes 5 innings, 6 hits, 4 runs, 3 Ks. So definitely not a pitcher's duel in this one, but probably very exciting. And again, getting back to the defense, there's 3 errors in this game. 3 errors in this game. Yes, I do know it's opening day. There's gonna be errors as the teams kind of work this out. But let's jump over here to the Tigers. I don't think we've done this one. No, we haven't. Let's see here. Baez goes 1 for, Tigers lose 4-0. Baez goes 1 for 3. So does Riley Green. Austin Meadows has a big day, 3 for 4. Miggy goes 1 for 4. And let's check on the other side. Wander Franco goes 2 for 4. The great Randy Arozarena goes 1 for 4 with an RBI. Let's see. Wander hit a home run, and so did Siri, the center fielder. Never heard of him. But he went deep. He went 1 for 3 as well. I know, big shocker. The Tigers did not go deep, but Eduardo Rodriguez doesn't have a bad outing. 3 hits, 3 earned, 5 Ks, and 5 1/3. Shane McClanahan goes 6 innings, 4 hits, no earned, 6 Ks. So if you are a Tigers fan, we all know this Tampa Bay Rays pitching staff is legit. It always is, and it probably always will be. But for the Tigers only to strike out 6 times, I think is huge. Now in the box score I'm looking at, it doesn't go that deep into who struck out, but yeah, for them to strike out only 6 times after coming off the season they just did. And Erod didn't pitch a bad game. This is a very good lineup. So I think, and 2Ks and I have talked about it because he's obviously a huge Tigers fan. I don't think they're as bad as they were last year or the years previous. They're trending in the right direction. I'm just hoping they're not absolutely 100% terrible Miguel Cabrera's last year, because I think it'd be a horrible way to go out. But they can't go undefeated. They're not like the Cubs. So obviously the Cubs are going to go undefeated. My Red Sox can't go undefeated. So, and Rafi Devers did not go deep, so he will not be hitting 162 home runs like Aaron Judge. So there's that too. There's that too. Let's jump around here. Okay, kind of check the time. What are we doing in this game here? It's currently 0-0 top of the sixth. White Sox, Astros. Dylan Cease pitching a gem. One hitter into the going into the sixth. White Sox have banged out 6 hits, but still haven't crossed over yet. Let's go Braves Nats. Let's go Braves Nats. Let's see here. Acuna goes 2 for 6. Matt Olson goes 2 for 5. Austin Riley goes 0 for 2, but has 3 walks. Ozzie Albies, good to see him back. Love that dude. 2 for 5. Travis d'Arnaud, 4 for 5. Damn. And they go homerless. Both teams go homerless. And there really isn't. Victor Robles goes 1 for 2 with 2 walks. Really wasn't a whole lot of, I mean, obviously they only scored 2 runs, but and I really couldn't tell you who most of these guys are on the Nationals. So let's check the pitching line. Max Fried goes 3 1/3, 4 hits, 1 earned, 2 Ks. He did have some, I believe, some hamstring tightness, so he did leave a little early. So hopefully that isn't anything major. Had no idea Jesse Chavez was still in the league. Seems like that dude has been in the league forever. So big shout out to him. Patrick Corbin goes 3 innings, 7 hits, 2 earned, 3 Ks. Looks like, yeah. So I have a feeling it's going to be a long season if you are a Washington Nationals fan. And who knows how much longer is Patrick Corbin going to be on your roster? Because him and, C.J. Abrams, but he's still very, very young. He went 0 for 4. So how much longer are these dudes going to be in Washington before there is a huge fire sale? So any other games we missed that I really wanted to touch on? Let's look ahead at some of the games kicking off later tonight. Rockies Padres, with all the moves the Padres made. Can't wait. That's one game I had earmarked that I really wanted to watch. Angels A's. I mean, obviously Ohtani and Trout are the 2 biggest names right now. The question is always, can they win? Ohtani's pitching tonight, so looks like the Padres are minus 220 to win. Angels are minus 220. And Diamondbacks Dodgers at 10-10. Dodgers are minus 170 to win. And I almost said their old team name, 2K Crew. Guardians at Mariners. That should be a good one as well. Shane Bieber's going. J-Rod out there. I mean, that Mariners team is young. That Mariners team is fun. It's going to be exciting to see how they kind of put things together and hopefully they were relevant towards the end of the year. Let's see if they can keep that going throughout the whole season this year. But I really, really like that Mariners team a lot. Division is kind of tough, but I really do like that Mariners team a lot. Dodgers are the Dodgers. I mean, I'm actually kind of shocked they're only minus 170 to win against the Diamondbacks. But maybe it's a different Snakes team this year. You never know. And then Angels A's. Are the A's going to be that bad again? I have a feeling they are. If the Angels are minus 220 to win that game, yeah. And are the Rockies going to be as bad? I just think in this game, I'm really excited to see how good the Padres are. I think it's kind of a flip. Do I watch a lot of Rockies games? No. I'll be the first one to admit it. But I have a feeling that as baseball fans on ESPN and on MLB Network, we will see a lot of Padres games this year. Because with the moves they made and and just the money they've spent I have a feeling that we're going to see a lot of them. But speaking of FanDuel, let me log in, and I probably this is on me. I'm a really bad host, but let's go MLB, more MLB. Okay, World Series. Okay. Astros are plus 600 to win the World Series again. Atlanta plus 750, tied with the Dodgers, ahead of the Yankees at plus 850. The Mets at plus 900. Padres plus 1,000, followed by the Blue Jays, Phillies, Tampa, Seattle plus 2,000. I would sprinkle a little bit of gas on them, and I am utterly offended that the Angels are plus 4,000 and my Red Sox are plus 6,000. That's absurd. But if you do want to take a really, really big flyer, the A's are plus 100,000. There's too many zeros, my eyes are running together, and there's no commas. But yeah, the Tigers are, it's got to be 100,000. Nats plus 500,000. Rockies are the same. Reds plus 50,000. Reds are plus 25,000. Tigers plus 20. Tied with the Royals, Pirates. So yeah, I just wanted to give you a little sneak peek there, and let's see who the players. Ooh. NL MVP. Juan Soto leads at plus 50, followed by Mookie, Acuna, Tatis Jr. making a plus 1,000. And I don't know if he's actually playing opening day or if he still has games left on that suspension. But followed by Trey Turner, 2K's boy, who is, just America's darling right now for his performance in the World Baseball Classic. Followed by Manny Machado. The reigning, I would sprinkle a little bit on Austin Riley, plus 1,600. But yeah, there's your National League. American League, Shohei, plus 220. Aaron Judge, plus 700. Mike Trout, plus 900. Julio Rodriguez, plus 950. Jordan, plus 1,200. Oh, man, there's a lot closer race here. And then the aforementioned Adley Rutschman that we talked about, plus 2,400. I think it's going to be hard to be a catcher and win this award, but just kind of a little preview there. And let's see what else we got. American League Cy Young, Garrett Cole plus 600. The guy we were talking about just a little bit, Dylan Cease, who's hurling and gem plus 850. DeGrom plus 850. Shohei plus 1,100. American League Rookie of the Year, Gunnar Henderson plus 300 for the Orioles. Anthony Volpe, which we talked about for the Yankees, plus 460. Yoshida, plus 500. Tristan Cassis, plus 1,200. So the Red Sox have two of the top four rookies here. National League, Corbin Carroll, plus 350. Jordan Walker, plus 900. Senga, plus 800. Miguel Vargas, plus 1,000. So those are all the player awards so far. So just figured I'd throw that out there, 2K crew, kind of get the mind spinning, and if you really haven't looked into it, what you would kind of expect, so you can kind of gauge where your favorite player is or where your hot pick is. But yeah, just my takeaways from the first day here. Runs are aplenty, and strikeouts are aplenty. Stolen bases are aplenty. The box score I was looking at really didn't show stolen bases, but yeah, it seemed like we're really going to see a lot more stolen bases this year than we have in the past. But yeah, that's kind of my big takeaways. It is sad to see that Justin Verlander's already on the injured list. Said it's his armpit muscle, like right here. That can't be good. That's got to hurt. So said he's going to be reevaluated in a week. Hopefully that's not something that lingers. Even though I am not a Mets fan, always been a JV fan. So hope he recovers quickly. Just to kind of wrap up, actually, we'll save that for the end. Save that for the end. Well, let's jump over to Final Four. Final Four. Let's see here. Scores. All right. Let's jump into here real quick and let's give you the to the minute Turbo and 2K's 2023 Bracket Challenge. Bracket Challenge. Now, if you remember, the last time we talked, Mrs. 2K's was winning this whole thing, and I told her to just calmly just pump the brakes a little bit. Pump the brakes just a little bit. You can't win a bracket challenge in the first two rounds, but you can sure as hell lose it. You can sure as hell lose it. And I have to admit, this one was one of the hardest bracket challenges I've ever had to fill out, just because the way the season went, I'm pretty sure we all kind of expected a little chaos, but this has been absolute nuts. Absolute nuts. We have a 9, a 5, a 5, and a 4 in the Final Four. It's the first time in like 16 years or 20 years or something like that there hasn't been at least one number one seed in the Final Four. And I want to say there's 3 of these teams that this is their first ever Final Four appearance. First ever Final Four. Now, Larinaga for Miami went there with George Mason. When George Mason started to make their run, so that's not really. I mean, he himself has been here, but the Miami hasn't. Miami hasn't, if I'm not mistaken. So, updates on the bracket challenge. Yours truly, Turbo, is leading with 600 points. Now, mind you, a lot of times this is like 12, 13, 1,400 points. 600. And to kind of give you an idea where this bracket is, my top bracket is in the top 96.1% of all the brackets on ESPN. So that kind of tells you it's 600 points. It's 600 points. Where I guarantee in past years wouldn't even have sniffed, the top 60% or 40%. Kind of gives you an idea how chaotic this tournament has been. And the only person that can catch me is Mr. Troy Kaler, Papa 2Ks. And if Miami wins against UConn, Troy wins. If UConn wins, I win. Which I think, he's only 30 points behind. That should be a Final Four win should be worth way more than 30 points. But yeah, he has a max projected of 730, and I have a max projected of 600. So none of my teams are left. He has one alive. And he's followed by Mr. 2Ks himself. And if we go all the way down to the bottom, we will find Mrs. 2Ks herself. Now, granted, that's not the bracket that she was leading with, but it just sounds more fun to say, Chelsea, you're in last. But I'm pretty sure this bracket's been in last the entire time, so no big deal. But yeah, that's kind of the update on the bracket challenge. So let's jump into these games here. Saturday, 6:09. 6:09. We've got San Diego State, Florida Atlantic. San Diego State is favored by 3 and over-under at 131.5. Over-under with San Diego State to me has always been the hardest bet because they play some of the best defense of anyone in the tournament. So 131.5 is a tricky line. I think I would stay away from the over-under. And to be honest with you, I've only really watched these teams in in the tournament. Now, my question is, these are actually, all four of these teams are very hot. Otherwise, they wouldn't be here. But does this time off hurt a young team like this? Does time off hurt? I shouldn't say young. Hurt kind of unproven teams like this? You could even throw Miami into this. They're very unproven as far as the tournament goes. Even UConn. None of these teams are really proven. UConn traditionally, yes, but with their current coach and with this current team, they're not. They're not. So who's going to react better with this time off? Who's going to react better? That's the question here. And to me, that makes it so much harder to pick. So much harder to pick. And my gut right now is telling me this one. I would take San Diego State -3 on this one. Like I said, that's my gut. I love their coaching staff. That team's very, very deep. And just the way they've been able to lock teams down. Florida Atlantic kind of plays a very similar style. However, I don't know. There's just something about that team I just can't put that much faith in, obviously, because I didn't take them even close to being this far along in the tournament. But yeah, I'm kind of leaning San Diego State on that one. And at the beginning of the year, if we're sitting here debating Florida Atlantic over San Diego State in the Final Four, we'd been laughed out of YouTube. We'd have been laughed out of YouTube, laughed out of Facebook, laughed off the entire podcast platform for being absolutely ridiculous and just bonkers. And look where we are. Look where we are. This is what makes this tournament so great. My blog this week for the paper, is this the lamest Final Four ever? And the way I kind of went about it is I kind of put fandom into, I think it was 4 groups. There's the group that loves the Blue Bloods, loves the proven teams. They seem to have the more household names when it comes to the top players. You want to see, your Duke, Michigan State, Kentucky, those type of teams go far in the tournament. They like the number ones. They like the number 1 seeds being dominant. They like everything to go chalk. I mean, that's pretty much the way they like it. That's the way they like it. And then there's another group that's the complete opposite. They love chaos. They absolutely love madness, chaos, upsets, Cinderellas, however you want to paint it, and that's what they got. That's what they got. And then there's there's 2 more categories. There's the bracket lovers that, they live and die by their brackets. When their bracket's busted, they don't care how the rest of the tournament goes. And then there's the new one. The new one is the sports bettor. Excuse me. And I think a lot of us are a mix of all 4. But I think the latter is becoming more and more the case when it goes to this. And let me explain why. Not every game is going to go chalk. Not every game is going to be complete chaos. Not every game is going to fulfill your bracket. So you're not guaranteed any satisfaction or have any skin in the game in every single game in March Madness. But here's where the final one comes in, the sports bettor. The sports bettor can have skin in any game he or she wants. They can project however they want, and it's almost ultimate satisfaction, or dissatisfaction, like in the case of most of my bets during March Madness. But it's more of an instant thing. Can you live bet? Absolutely. Do I recommend it? To a certain extent. That was probably some of my more profitable bets, but it wasn't like I was live betting at halftime. I wasn't live betting while the game was going on. To me, that's kind of risky, just because of how quickly a game can flip, how quickly a game can change within 30, 45 seconds. That's kind of basketball for you, especially March Madness. Every game is a game of runs. Who's going to make the longest run? Who's going to stop the other one first? That's kind of where this tournament has been ever since I can remember. So if you are going to live bet, I would suggest doing it at halftime. And I would make a bet for the first half, see how that went, kind of readjust everything, and then make a bet for the second half. That was my my strategy. Did it work out? I think I'm still down. I'm still down. But even though I filled out my brackets, I did everything that I have in previous years. I think I've been on FanDuel now for almost 4 years, or sports betted for whenever it became legal here in Michigan is when I started. And I think I'm gradually moving more and more. I get more excitement out of the sports bet. Now, am I betting an extreme amount of money? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Just a couple bucks here, a couple bucks there. So it's fun for me. And believe me, I will hang on every pass, every shot for $2 to make 10. I mean, that's just the type of guy I am. So it does give me a little bit more satisfaction, keeps me more interested in the game. Do I still want my brackets to do good? Sure. But am I living and dying with them anymore? Not really. Not really. And I've never been one that loves chalk. To me, that's boring. I've never been one that loves extreme chaos because I lose money. So a good mix is always good. So that's kind of why I posed the question. I mean, is this the lamest Final Four ever? And I think you have to decide how your fandom falls in each one of those buckets. So I think this has been an absolutely awesome tournament. Awesome tournament. I have a feeling that if UConn wouldn't have got kind of complacent with in the middle of the year, you would have seen them be higher than a 4 seed. I think the selection committee did them a favor by putting them down at 4, where they could have been a whole lot higher. And if they were a higher seed, who knows how any of this could have shaped out. But I still have a feeling they are the hottest team, and I did not take them this far. I think I dropped them out in the Elite 8. I did have them going quite far. But yeah, there was a lot of pundits that were very, very high on UConn going into this, and I was just like, I couldn't even name their coach. I mean, that was kind of the draw with UConn, was their coach. So the new coach seems like an awesome dude. So definitely going to keep an eye on that team moving forward after this year. But UConn's a 5.5 point favorite with an over/under 149. I think I'm more leaning. Give me both of them. Give me. I'll give the 5.5 taking UConn, and I will take the over on that. I think this is a high-scoring game. UConn has been absolutely destroying everybody, but this Miami team can shoot. This Miami team is the real deal. But I think UConn's just too much for them. And then fast forward to Monday, I think UConn absolutely dog walks whoever they play, whether it's Florida Atlantic or San Diego State. I think this is UConn's to lose, and would be very, very, very shocked if they, don't make it past Miami. Well, I wouldn't be as shocked if they didn't make it past Miami. Because like I said, I would have liked to seen this matchup in the championship game and not in the Final Four. I think that would be a much better game because if UConn's a 5.5 point favorite against Miami, let's say Florida Atlantic wins. Excuse me. You might see that line at 10. When's the last time a national championship game was a 10-point line? That seems to me just absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. So, like I said, let's see here. I'm gonna get back on FanDuel just to kind of prove a point, even though I have a feeling I know what the answer is. Yes, log back in. And again, this is on me. I should have Should have had this all taken care of. More national champion. Yeah. UConn's minus 125 right now. San Diego State plus 390. Miami's plus 440. Florida Atlantic plus 550. So it goes to show you who Vegas thinks is the best team, and who I think a lot of us. I mean, I guarantee there's a lot of folks putting money on UConn right now, because that minus 125 right now, if they do win on Saturday, you might see that go to minus 250, maybe even 275, over whether, regardless if it's San Diego State or Florida Atlantic. But yeah, it goes to show you who the numbers say are going to win. But as we've seen, nothing has went according to the numbers so far. So who the hell knows? All right, well, 2K crew, it has been one. Like I said, 2Ks, hopefully you have safe travels. I have a very good feeling that, especially today, he would much rather be sitting here with me and you talking about baseball as being compared to being in a car with two little kids driving all the way down to Florida. So 2Ks, my heart goes out to you. You guys have fun, stay safe, drink one for me. Who be kidding? Drink more than one for me, and bring back some more warmer weather on your way back. 2K crew, it's been awesome. Thank you guys and gals for watching. We will see you next week, and as always, Jim Rome, we're coming for you.